All right, so our next class is going to be on understanding European art. This will be an 8-week journey that we'll make through European, i.e. Faustian art. We're not going to go over the Greco-Roman period. Not in this class. We'll do that in another one. So what we're going to do, and this will be Saturday, January 4th at noon MST, and it will continue until Saturday, February 8th at noon MST. So that's the 8-week time zone there. So we'll begin with the Italians, with the Byzantine iconotypes that they inherit from monks who are fleeing from Byzantium, and they bring iconotypes with them to Ravenna and Florence, and they begin transforming them, starting really with Giotto. He's the first to really, he gets rid of the world ceiling. If you go back and you look at early medieval art, the world is always enclosed in a dome, because that's the Magian cavern, as Spangler says, that the West inherits as a pseudomorphosis, which is to say it's a false formation, and Giotto is the first to trade out the blue sky for the gold sky. He gets rid of the gold background because this is Faustian now. We're blowing open the dome, the Magian world as cavern, and we're bringing the world in. That will change too with these Annunciation paintings. If you look at the Annunciation paintings over time, they begin in very enclosed rooms, and then now here's a backyard being added. Pretty soon with Leonardo, it'll be completely set outdoors. So the dome by that point is just completely gone. So we'll notice all these things. I'm loosely using as the textbook for the class Rudolf Steiner's art, and let's see, it's called Art History, and the subtitle Art History as a Reflection of Inner Spiritual Impulses. But Steiner only, he goes down to, for him, he rejected modern art, so we don't get the 18th and 19th and 20th centuries in that art book, so I'm just continuing it myself, basically. And in my book on contemporary art, Art After Metaphysics, I divide this whole period into 4 distinct epochs, each with its own iconotypes. Now, iconotypes differ from archetypes in that for Jung, archetypes are universal. They lie at the base of the psyche, what he calls the 2 million-year-old man within us, whereas iconotypes differ from culture to culture. They inflect the archetypes, but you get an iconotype such as the invention of the still life. That's an iconotype for the middle period, or the portrait study, which is the iconotype for the later period. And you can see, we'll go through the Renaissance, Leonardo, Raphael, and then Dürer plugs himself into the Christian, the iconotype of the visage of Jesus. This guy had some effrontery to do this, but it begins the whole tradition of studying the West's primary iconotype, which is to say the individual as a metaphysically unique species unto himself. Each individual is a cosm in the Faustian civilization, which is why we have the portrait study in both art as well as literature. Think of all those novels that we get, such as Richardson's Pamela, or Clarissa, or Barry Lyndon, or Moll Flanders, or Don Quixote. These are all specific individuals. The West is very particular about individuality. This isn't a group civilization at all. The collective just does not exist for it, which is why it destroyed the Magian cosmology. In the Magian cosmology of the Abrahamic faiths, there is only a consensus. There is only a group. There is no room for individual dissent and innovation. Not so in the West. We have to be quite fond of the new. Innovation, innovation, innovation. And when we get to one of my favorite periods in the history of art is the 17th century Netherlands with Rembrandt and all these others, Vermeer and Rydale, and the still life is invented as an iconotype, and the landscape painting. Nobody did better landscape paintings than the Dutch. There's just no comparison. They really discover the world of infinite space with its depth, perspectival, horizontal vanishing point. So we'll go through all of that, and then one of my least favorite periods, just to be honest, is 18th century art. I find it fluffy, flowery, effete, overly feminine, It's too much. It's very sickly sweet. You can tell something is beginning to die in the art here. And then we get the Germans arrived late on the scene with Caspar David Friedrich and Romantic art. He is the first. He's a contemporary of Goethe, and he is the best of them. Goethe liked his artwork quite a bit. Lots of spooky, cool scenes, and then he inspires other painters, such as this individual, to do German landscape painting, which is a different thing. It's much more metaphysically intense and spooky and moody than the Dutch landscape paintings are. So we'll explore all of this. There's Goethe himself. Okay, and then we'll end up with French Impressionism. Some really good stuff there with Manet and Monet and company in the second generation with Van Gogh, Cézanne, and so forth. So we'll stop there because I want to do another course right after it on modernist art and American art after the war and contemporary art. I've already done an online contemporary art class, so we may stop there with the pop artists with Warhol and Jackson Pollock and so forth. We may stop there. All right, so that's the class, and its cost is $250 if you want to attend live. If you only want a subscription, it's $150, and I can send you the videos through Gmail. And if you do want to enroll, either way, contact me at johndavidebert@gmail.com. Don't go through Teachable. They take too much out of my money. So, and they'll charge you tax, so you'll end up paying about $15 more than $250 with them. Okay, so that's it. Remember, I still do astrology readings, same email address, and I also do individual student tutoring, as well as the school. Okay, I'll see you in class.